Hello everybody, my name is Elena. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be assigning some books Taylor Swift songs because I'm a fairly new Swiftie, but I love Taylor Swift, and a lot of the songs that I listen to from her, I've like connected with books and certain vibes. So I was like, why don't I just make this into a video? And that's what we're doing today. I have 12 books, but I'm only putting 6 in this video because I feel like I'm gonna get carried away explaining everything. So let's just do half of them for this video, and we'll save the other half for like maybe another video or another part of this. First song we're assigning a book to is No Body, No Crime, from Evermore, which, by the way, Evermore is my favorite album, probably, from Taylor Swift, so that's just like a little fun fact. But I'm choosing The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and there's a hair on it. I think this is pretty obvious if you know what the book is about. This series is basically Criminal Minds, but young adult, and it's perfection. Jennifer Lynn Barnes wrote the Inheritance Games. I personally prefer this series, even though I loved that one too. But this is very much like kids recruited into this FBI program called The Naturals, and they have these like, okay, I don't want to say special powers because they're not magical powers, but they're just like really good profilers, and they have like a human lie detector and then an emotions reader and a statistician and stuff like that. It's really good. Highly recommend that you pick this series up. These are the old covers, so you might not recognize it from this cover. You might recognize these ones, but people are talking about them now, which I'm so happy about. But they did get new covers. I just personally liked these ones more, so I bought them while these were still in print. Anyways, I don't think I have to explain very much about this. Like, No Body, No Crime is basically about, like, you know, like, very, like, crime kind of stuff. Like, there's a murder, and then there's, like, you're trying to solve it, and it's like, oh, she did it. But it's like, oh, but no body, no crime, you know, there's no proof that she did it. And then it's kind of like a revenge plot at the end, where Taylor gets her revenge. So I associate it a lot with this series. It just reminds me of some of the things that go on in the series. There's 4 books. Every book is focused on kind of a different serial killer, but there is one overarching like kind of plot line through all of them that connects them. It's not my video if I don't mention Kristen Becker-Ritchie. So the next song is Long Story Short, and which is my second favorite song of all time from Taylor Swift, by the way. Long Story Short, and I'm assigning it to Addicted to You by Kristen Becker-Ritchie, or just the Addicted series as a whole. I think I associate it with Lily Moore, and I wrote down some lyrics from the song, and I fell from the pedestal right down the rabbit hole. Long story short, it was a bad time. Pushed from the precipice, and now this is where it gets interesting, because in the like the first couple of verses, it goes, pushed from the precipice, clung to the nearest lips. Long story short, it was the wrong guy. Which really reminds me of when Lily was kind of in a bad place and going through guys a lot because of her sex addiction and stuff like that. And that really clicked in my mind. And then at the, like, I think the last chorus, she, like, everything's the same. And then she goes, pushed from the precipice, climbed right back up the cliff. Long story short, I survived. And that's the part that got me, because they do survive and they make it out, like, they make it to the end, and then they're happy together, and Lilo deserve everything that is good in the world. Lily is honestly one of the strongest female characters I've ever read about, if not the strongest. So if you haven't picked this series up, please do it. Like, I think everyone should at least once read these books in their life, because everyone can take something away from them. They're just so meaningful and so well crafted. Props to the authors, honestly. And then again, it's not gonna be my video if I don't mention Damaged Like Us. So the next song is Lover, and this is the book that is assigned. And again, I have lyrics to read out to explain why I put these two together. Have I known you for 20 seconds or 20 years? Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? Literally marrow. Literally marrow. Because they've known each other for a long time, but they were like never together, and then after like years and years of Maximoff having a crush on Pharaoh and Pharaoh liking Maximoff, they finally get together. And that's why I kind of, that's where the connection is, I feel like, with like Have I Known You for 20 Seconds or 20 Years, because they click so well and they work so well together. It feels like they've literally been like married for like 60 years, like they're an old couple, they know everything about each other. That's what it feels like. And the relationship is just so comfortable that like there's no other song that I could put with this book besides Lover. And then I thought this was like really funny because one of the lyrics is, swear to be over dramatic and true to my lover, and you'll save all your dirtiest jokes for me, and at every table I'll save you a seat. Mafi is very much known for being over dramatic, but he's always true to Pharaoh, and that was just like really funny to me. I was kind of giggling when I thought about it. Like, the whole song really fits them so well. Like, you'll save all your dirtiest jokes for me, because they're like in it for life. Like, they're each other's person. There's no one else that it could be. I love it. Please go read this series. I've been begging for you to read this series every single video. I will be happy if I've convinced at least one of you to pick up the series. This one, like, for the other ones, I kind of had them in mind already before I opened like my playlist. This one came out of left field, and it made so much sense. I was like, oh my god, I have to add it in here. So the song is The Archer, and I've connected it to When Gracie Met the Grump by Mariana Zapata, and I will absolutely explain why, because I know The Archer is a very beloved song in the fandom, and the book needs to live up to it. So I will explain everything. This is actually one of my favorite Mariana Zapata books, and it's not talked about enough, and I'm here to convince you to read them. Read them? Read it. First lyric that I've pulled from the song. I wake up in the night, I pace like a ghost, the room is on fire, invisible smoke, and all my heroes died all alone. Help me hold on to you. This is a superhero romance. The guy's a superhero, the girl isn't. But I don't think we talk enough about this book, and especially because of what Gracie goes through in like this book, because she's such a deep character, and she's so, I don't want to say traumatized, but she's deeply disturbed by things that have happened in her life. Like, the feeling of suffocation that you get while she's like explaining her feelings, going through this journey, really just match up with The Archer, in my opinion, and it just works so well. Especially the help me hold on to you part, because he's like kind of like her saving grace. Saving grace. Okay. Next lyric. They see right through me. Can you see right through me? I see right through me. Again, this is basically the inner monologue that Gracie goes through in this book. And it's basically like, oh, well, they know that I'm full of bullshit. Can you tell? And then she's like, okay, I at least know that I'm full of bullshit. And that I'm trying to like save face and be like this really strong person and pretend that I'm fine being all alone in this world and running my whole life. And then he kind of swoops in and he's like, you don't have to be alone. Like, you don't have to do it alone. And a lot of bad circumstances make them get together, but it's so good. Like, the story progression in this book, because it's like pretty chunky, so it's slow burn, you just get full satisfaction by the end. It's so good. I actually have a third lyric. I went overboard with this one. Who could ever leave me, darling, but who could stay? And then you could stay. Alex stays with her through everything, and he's always there for her, and he's always so comforting and so thoughtful, even though he's a jackass. Like, he's so mean sometimes, but like, he's such a good person. He's not mean in a like a, I don't know how to explain it. He's not mean in like a dark romance kind of way. He's just grumpy. Like, he's a grump. And I loved it. And the trope is actually grumpy ex grumpy. It's not grumpy sunshine or reverse grumpy sunshine. It's just two people being grumpy together. It's so good. Please pick it up. And I highly recommend that you listen to The Archer when you read this book, because I think it's going to elevate your experience. Ever since I realized that those two fit, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Honestly, it's plagued my mind ever since it happened. This one, I was really proud of when I like figured it out, because I think it's genuinely like perfect. Like, the whole song fits the book perfectly, but I couldn't write down the whole song, so I just took like a little portion out. The song is Dress, and the book is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I will always be a People We Meet on Vacation stan. Oh my god, my earrings match. Anyways, oh, my whole outfit matches. Perfect. Oh, I'm getting so distracted. This is a best friends to lovers romance. They've known each other since high school or college, and then they know each other through their whole adult life and stuff like that, and they're best friends, and then they get together. It's really good. It's a really good summary read, so if you still haven't picked it up, you could still give it a go. Like, it's still kind of summer. At least in my country, it's still fucking warm. All this silence and patience, pining in anticipation, my hands are shaking from holding back from you. All the silence and patience, pining and desperately waiting, my hands are shaking from all of this. Say my name and everything just stops. I don't want you like a best friend. That perfectly explains the tension in this book, because they do have a lot of tension, and a lot of people say, oh, the characters are boring. The characters are not boring. They're just not, like, really extroverted characters like Poppy is, but Alex isn't. Alex is introverted, and I feel like a lot of people find him boring because of it. No. He's so thoughtful. He's so sweet. He's so kind, and that part of the song perfectly encompasses this book. It's so good. I told you, like, they've known each other for a really long time. The bridge in Dress is, like, made for the book. Flashbacks when you met me, your buzz cut and my hair bleached. Even in my worst times, you could see the best in me. Excuse me? And then flashback to my mistakes, to my rebounds, my earthquakes. Even in my worst lies, you saw the truth in me. And I woke up just in time. Now I wake up by your side. Because Poppy's gone through a relationship, and she was still friends with Alex, and Alex has gone through relationships, and he still ends up with Poppy, and Poppy ends up with Alex, and it's just, they were always made to be together, and they've been with each other through, like, so much, and it's just, it fits. It works. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Last song of this video is Long Live, which is also one of my favorites by her. I don't think I can ever listen to the song without, like, at least tearing up, if not full on sobbing. I matched Long Live with Twisted Games, and this one is a bit weird, and it needs a little bit of convincing on my part, so please bear with me. This book is basically about a princess of this, like, little tiny country, and then she's supposed to be crowned queen. And it's a love story between her and her bodyguard, and they're not supposed to be together, and there's like this law that they can't marry. She has to marry a royal. It's honestly one of the best books in the Twisted series. Like, Twisted Games and Twisted Lies, perfect. I will now get to explaining why I paired them together. I just needed you to know the backstory of this book so I can explain myself. We're the kings and the queens. You traded your baseball cap for a crown, and the cynics were outraged, screaming, "This is absurd." Okay. Rhys in this book, which is the bodyguard, very much likes his privacy, likes where he is in life, likes being a bodyguard. He isn't looking to be a royal. He's not in it for the money. But he gives all of that up, all of his privacy up for Bridget, because he wants to be with her. And she means more to him than any privacy he could ever have, than any job he ever had before. She is the most important thing in his life. And that's why, like, you traded your baseball cap for a crown. I don't think he'd be caught dead wearing baseball caps, but you get the idea. And the cynics were outraged, screaming, "This is absurd," because they literally had to, like, scheme their way out of this, like, law that doesn't let them, like, marry each other and be together. They literally had to change the whole entire fucking, like, everything that country has ever known. They changed it to be together, and the cynics were literally outraged. They were like, "This is absurd. You can't marry this, like, low life. Excuse you. First of all, because Rhys is a damn good man." That's why I connected it with this. And I don't know, this one's probably the one that's reaching the most, but I still think it makes sense. I stand by my decisions. And you are welcome to put your opinions down in the comments if you'd like. But that's actually the last book and last song of this video. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you'd like, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.